Bengaluru, 11:47 p.m. A 27-year-old software engineer just got off his third Zoom call of the day. His salary hit 22 lakhs this year. His LinkedIn says he's crushing it. He opens Zomato, orders for one, sits in his 1 BHK in Koramangala, and eats alone. Again. This is not a sad story about someone who failed. This is the untold story of an entire generation. Across Bengaluru, Pune, Hyderabad, New York, London, who got everything they were told to chase and still go to bed feeling completely, quietly invisible. If that touched something in you, you need to watch this. In 2025, a researcher named Dr. Priya Kamra published a study in the International Journal of Indian Psychology. The title was blunt: Living Alone, Earning Well, Yet Lonely. She studied young professionals across Bengaluru, people in their mid to late 20s, earning well above average, living independently for the first time. What she found stopped her cold. These weren't people struggling financially. They had Swiggy One memberships, Netflix, gym subscriptions. They had colleagues. They had followers on Instagram. Some of them had hundreds of friends. And yet, nearly all of them described a version of the same thing. I can go an entire week without a single real conversation. Not a small talk conversation, not a team stand-up, a real conversation where someone actually asked how they were doing and waited for the answer. Now, here's what makes this deeply strange. India has a median age of 28, 750 million internet users, the most connected, youngest major population on Earth. And it has a loneliness crisis, growing fastest among the people who are online the most. The United States, the Surgeon General officially declared loneliness a public health epidemic in 2023. 61% of Americans reported feeling lonely even before COVID. Two countries, different cultures, different incomes, different everything. Same epidemic. Which means this isn't about where you live or how much you earn. It's about something happening inside the human mind. Something no salary hike, no new city, no better apartment can fix. So what is actually going on? There are 5 psychological forces quietly creating this epidemic, and once you see them, you cannot unsee them.
Point 1. You didn't just migrate cities, you migrated your entire identity. When you move from Lucknow to Bangalore, or from a small town in Maharashtra to Mumbai, or from India to the US, you don't just leave behind your family. You leave behind the version of yourself that existed in that web of people who knew you. Your neighbors who called you by a nickname. Your school friends who knew your history without you having to explain it. Your mother who could tell something was wrong by the way you said nothing. Psychologists call this your social context identity, the version of you that only exists in relationship with others who've known you over time. When you move cities, that version of you has no one to exist with. And so, quietly, a part of you disappears. You build a new version, professional, competent, put together, but it's a costume, not a self. And no matter how many new connections you make at that rooftop party, they don't know you. Knowing someone takes years. Most of us don't stay anywhere long enough to let it happen. Point 2. Your routine is designed to prevent real connection, and you don't even notice. Think about a typical week for an urban professional in India right now. Monday to Friday, office or WFH from 9 to 8. Evenings, exhausted. Phone, dinner, scroll. Saturday, recover. Maybe a party or dinner with colleagues. Sunday, dread. Laundry, meal prep, scroll. There is no space in the schedule for friendship to grow. And here's the psychological truth most people miss. Friendship doesn't happen in big moments. It happens in small, repeated, unhurried ones. Researchers at the University of Kansas found that it takes 50 hours of time together to move from acquaintance to casual friend, and 200 hours to become a close friend. 200 hours. When was the last time you gave 200 hours to anyone who wasn't your employer?
Point 3. Social media gives you an audience, but an audience is not the same as a witness. There is a deep human need, identified by psychologist Dan McAdams, to feel witnessed. Not liked, not validated, witnessed. To have someone who knows your story, not your highlight reel, your actual story. But social media only rewards the highlight reel. So we post the view from the office window. We post the food, the trip, the promotion, and we get 200 likes. And then we put the phone down, and the apartment is still quiet. And somehow the 200 likes make the silence feel louder than before. Because you shared something, and yet nothing real was exchanged. Studies show that passive social media use actually increases loneliness. You're watching everyone else's performance of a full life while privately feeling like yours is missing something. The worst part? You're performing for them too, and they're feeling the exact same emptiness watching you. Point 4. We have more connections than ever, and almost none of them go deep. A survey of 14 firms across urban India found that 56% of employees openly admitted to feeling lonely, even though they were surrounded by colleagues all day. This is what researchers call social loneliness versus emotional loneliness. You can have social loneliness with full calendars and crowded offices. Emotional loneliness is something different. It's the absence of someone who truly knows you. The conversations we have at work, at parties, even with some friends, they stay at the surface. We talk about shows, about work drama, about plans. But we rarely say, I've been struggling. I feel like I'm falling behind somehow, but I can't explain it. Sometimes I wonder if I even like the person I've become here. Those conversations don't happen because vulnerability has a cost in competitive urban environments. If you show the crack, someone might use it. So everyone stays polished, guarded, performing okayness. And the epidemic deepens. Point 5. You keep waiting for belonging to arrive. But belonging isn't found, it's built. Here's the quiet lie that keeps this generation stuck. We were raised to believe that if we just got to the right place, the right city, the right company, the right social circle, belonging would naturally follow. It doesn't. Belonging is not a location. It's not a friend group that accepts you. Psychologist Brené Brown's research shows that belonging requires us to show up as our authentic self, not the curated version, not the professional version, not the version that has it all together. But for a generation that learned to optimize everything, the idea of being unpolished, uncertain, needy even, feels like failure. So we wait. We keep performing. We keep scrolling. And we keep eating alone in an apartment that cost 3 months of savings, wondering why a life that looks so full feels so hollow. Now, here's the part that should make every young professional stop scrolling. The U.S. Surgeon General's report confirmed chronic loneliness carries the same mortality risk as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Not feeling sad, not just being antisocial. Loneliness, at a biological level, raises your risk of heart disease by 29%, stroke by 32%, and premature death by 26%. A 2025 meta-analysis of 86 studies confirmed that social isolation raises mortality risk by 35%. This is not a feelings problem. This is a health crisis wearing the mask of a lifestyle choice. And the most dangerous part? Most people who are experiencing it don't even call it loneliness. They call it being busy, being independent, being focused. They call it success. So what do you do with this? We're not going to tell you to download a new app or join a club or put yourself out there. You've probably heard all of that. What the research actually says is simpler and harder than any of that. You have to let yourself be known. Not your LinkedIn profile, not your Insta story. You. The person who misses home sometimes. The person who doesn't always know if they made the right choices. The person who eats dinner alone
and occasionally wonders if this is really it. That person needs one real conversation with one person who will actually listen. Not a therapist, not a self-help book, just one honest conversation where you stop performing okayness, even for 5 minutes. That is where connection begins. Not in the perfect circumstances, not when you figured everything out. Right now, in the life you already have. Because here's the truth about this generation. You didn't come to this city to disappear. You came here to build something. Don't let the building happen on the outside only.
If this video described something you've been feeling but couldn't name, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Not because of the views, because that one share might be the honest conversation someone needed to have today. Drop a comment below with one word that describes how this city makes you feel. Just one word. Let's see what this community actually feels. And if you want to understand more about the psychology behind modern loneliness, we have a video on why smart people overthink everything and how it connects to isolation. That one's next. This is Truth Spark. Facts, stories, and perspectives that stay with you. See you there.